in addition to the insane general rewriting of the 6th, Tucker Carlson, again, in an incredibly cowardly fashion, without actually showing you what happened on the day, wants to defend a couple of the individuals involved in that as well. So here is his defense of zip tie guy.
That 2 defendants, Lisa Eisenhart and her son, Eric Munchell, should face indefinite detention. Now, neither Lisa Eisenhart nor her son damaged any property at the Capitol or committed any violence. They just walked in to what we used to refer to as the People's House. And yet somehow Joe Biden's Department of Justice convinced a trial judge that Lisa Eisenhart was a, quote, threat to our republic, and that her son was a, quote, would-be martyr. Keep in mind, these are people whose crime was trespassing in the Capitol. We're not endorsing that, but some perspective, please.
No, you're 100% endorsing that. That is literally what you've been doing for months. These people tried to kill elected officials, and his job as one of the most watched people in news is to defend them and make you feel sorry for them. Now, remember, he did a full segment mocking AOC, fearing for her life. So there was a target and there was a person doing the targeting. He spends months attacking the target and defending those who were hunting them down. That is what he did. Now, he showed you the picture there of the guy. You might have forgotten exactly what he looked like. So we're gonna jump around a bit. I apologize, Brandon, but let's go to the actual zip tie guy and what he looked like on the day. Why aren't you showing his picture, Tucker? I mean, he was just there to express his thoughts. It's democracy in action, and he wore tactical gear because I don't know. He had zip ties because something democracy. That's why he had restraint devices. That's why he wore a mask, because he was just invited into the Capitol. That's why he dressed as if he was one of the guys backing up Baron Zemo in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's why he did all of that. Again, Tucker Carlson wanting to defend these people, but he can't bring himself to actually try to muster a defense of what they actually looked like on the day, who they actually were. He goes super vague. He's just a guy who's interested in democracy. Oh, what are his hobbies like? Well, let's go to this next photo. These are the guns he owns. For some reason, he needs all of those guns, including a sniper rifle. Probably because he's just such a fan of the philosophy of democracy. That's probably all it is. And look, did he kill anyone? No, thankfully. He certainly looked like he wanted to, or at least kidnap and restrain someone for some reason that no one will explain. I'll do a Tucker Carlson. Why did he have the restraint devices? They won't tell us. And Tucker won't either. He won't even try to explain it.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're watching his show, you may understand, if you maybe have been in high school already and you're like, oh, I remember back in 2005. Yeah, my high school visited the Capitol and they handed us restraint ties and masks before we walked in, because that's what we do when we go to the People's House. We go to the People's House and we put on masks and then we have zip ties and we look for Congress people. That's what we do, right? That's what we do. We visit our People's House. We're invited in, and every field tripper is given all this to walk in and be like, oh, Nancy, because that's what we do. Man, it's so frustrating. As you point out, you only point out this mugshot with him and his mother, rather than point out what he actually did, because guaranteed. But by the way, this progression of who the bad guys are, I'm not sure if Tucker was the one that was on this drumbeat, but I don't know if he was pushing back on it either. What happened to that they were Antifa and that they were BLM? We've abandoned that because that BS argument died somehow. I actually thought it would continue to catch on with them, but now we have to excuse what they did every month on the 6th. Excuse what they did. I thought they were BLM and Antifa. Why are we excusing their actions? BLM and Antifa must have gotten to Tucker Carlson somehow. Maybe they threatened him. I don't know what it is. They're a radical organization, but since they were the ones in the Capitol, why is he defending them? Yeah. Which one is it? It doesn't matter, because every day, as long as you have some new excuse to excuse the BS that they keep spewing at you, then mission accomplished. That's all he cares about.
I really wish that we could just, like, I don't wish that I was sitting down with a Tucker Carlson fan, but I wish during that I would, and said, before the segment, so those people in the Capitol, they were all Antifa, right? Oh yeah, no, totally. So then we watched the segment. So why is he defending them? I doubt they even think about it at that level. But you're totally right, JR. You're totally right. And by the way, one other person who's right, and I want to jump back to this tweet from Benjamin Dixon. Had these been Black Lives Matter protesters, Tucker would be calling for their public execution. Does anyone doubt it? Like, he conjures up hypothetical roving bands of BLM terrorists pulling your daughters out of your house. Like that's specifically what he is saying. So he's very worried about specific bands of roving people in tactical gear. But again, when there's actual ones, he can't actually work himself up to get bothered by it.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.